This podcast is powered by The Plug.
Ooh-wee. Hi, y'all. I'm Dani, baby. Living vicariously through myself. I'm sitting down with the lovely Samantha. We got to know each other for at least 10 minutes, and then we're going to go into Sammy, all right? I'm here at the Arvada Center, and I am learning so much today. And I want to be really straightforward on this, is that I did receive from The Plug some of your links, and I didn't want to have preconceived notions. So I didn't really do a lot of research. I wanted to come in and then have a post-conceived notion about you and just hear more from who you are and if that's okay. Yes. So I don't know a lot going in. I know that you've been in a couple of plays before and all of that, but I really wanted to have your take because our lives are so fluid and we shift so much. No matter what we put on our stories, our Instagram and our social media, from day to day we change. So as you are before me today, how is your spirit feeling?
Very happy. I think that I am sort of in a place that I always dreamed of being as a little girl.
Okay.
And it's good to remind myself of that a lot on the harder days, but I think overall I'm very thankful and very happy.
I love that. With this being the direction that you chose, was this more of like a guided direction, or did you wake up one day and you're like, nope, I'm going to do this?
It's sort of always just been the thing I've gone back to. My grandma always tells a story of when I was like 3 or 4, she had a bunch of people over and I came down the stairs and I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to begin." And I did something silly. And I've always enjoyed making people laugh and cheering people up when things were harder at home. My younger sister, my mom, or my dad, if I did a little skit or something, it cheered them up. And that was the first sort of great feeling with acting. And then I took a lot of classes when I was younger. I went to school for it from 6th grade on, and so it's just always been my thing, and even when I've gone away from it, it's what I go back to. So it's just always, I don't remember a time where it hasn't been that I've loved acting or dancing or performing. Okay.
So in that, I always have this statement, and it's actually the title of my podcast, Living Vicariously Through Myself. And so taking on these roles where you have like this principle of like, this is the part you're going to play, you still develop a character within that.
Yes.
Do you find like in your daily life that there's sometimes an overlapping?
Oh, yes, very much so.
Do you have like an instance where it actually benefited your life to have perspective from a character that you became and invented to your reality?
I think actually the show we're doing right now, Our Town, that it's so much about family and remembering the small moments in life and sibling love and parent love and friendships. And in this career, it's very easy to get busy. You're busy at nights. Sometimes when other people are free to see you, you unfortunately, sometimes you can miss weddings or big events because of the schedule and the nature of the career. And it's a really good reminder how important family is, and that at the end of the day and the end of your life, that's going to be one of the biggest things that you look back on. And remembering those small relationships with people, it's been a really great reminder to kind of take a step back and be more particular with the time that I spend with my loved ones.
I love that. And so with it, you said the name of this specific play is Our Town.
Yes.
And within that, you were speaking to the space of like how important like family is. I come from a space where I don't like, my birth family isn't like a huge thing for me. So in Our Town, developing a community, like I didn't have a community. So I'm just like going to jump in here for a second because I want to see what your answer is, I guess, is just I didn't really have like a community that made sense for me. So I went and created something or found something that made sense for me, and then the community kept building. Do you see that being like a sense of kind of what our town is about, shifting through the times?
Yes, I think so. I think we did a really great exercise where we all brought in pictures of what family meant to us, and it was very cool to see the cast. A lot of us had birth family, a lot of us had families we created from theater or school or friendships, and everyone's was different. And that was something I think we're taking into our production a lot, is that even though in the script it's a lot of like blood family and the community, but I think the community as a whole is family, and that when the milkman comes in the morning, that's part of their everyday routine. That's part of their family. He attends the wedding. He's there for all of these big moments, and the friends from school. And I think that it shows that the community is a family overall, yes.
And so do you find that that's like building just a stronger, would it be like a root or foundation within what you're cultivating as a team and a community within the actors and actresses here?
Yes, very much so. I think that we have taken that to heart very seriously, and we are building an ensemble before we build a play, so that kind of translates and you can feel that sense of community while you're watching. Okay.
What in the character, who are you playing in this?
I play quite a few characters. The main one is Rebecca, who is the little sister of George, and we kind of follow his love story. And she's just so much fun to play. You see that sibling rivalry, and then sibling love, and this child's fascination with the world. We talked a little bit about, like, as an adult, how do you play an 11-year-old? And I think the biggest thing is everything is so important. Everything is so exciting, or like the end of the world if something goes wrong. And that relationship with life before you kind of experience a lot of life is really cool to kind of go back to and explore again, and just like being so excited about life. And then there's a newspaper boy that I play who's very upset that George is getting married because he's great on the baseball team, and that sort of journey. And then at the end, the last act is called Death. There's a lot of people just dead in the cemetery that have been there, and they're not dwelling on the past, they're not dwelling on the future, they're just sort of there. And that's really beautiful and kind of hard to tackle as well, because you're just sort of like, what does death mean to you, I think.
Right. And you were just speaking to being like playing younger cast members, and you spoke very gently to like just like the evolution of being a child and being so curious to everything. Somebody, I was a late bloomer to discovering things about myself, like being autistic and having ADHD. Do you find that playing like a younger character as your established self now provides some healing or perspective on, who you are as this person, maybe looking up to yourself as that younger character? Do you find that that's been helpful for you? Or
Yes, very much so. I think that for me personally, as I was experiencing childhood, I was such a positive and optimistic child, and I just kind of went through life like, oh, it's fine, this is great, I love this, and then as I've gotten older, looking back on it, it's a lot easier to dwell on the negative and the things that were hard of childhood. And so this has been a great reminder of when I was actually going through it, it didn't feel as bad as it does looking back on it.
Awesome.
Well,
and you're a very lovely person. You have such a gentle spirit. Thank you for sharing. Yes. I know I kind of went in with some different intentional questions just because, again, I didn't have a preconceived notion of you. Right. And I just wanted to fill this space, as well as I am definitely going to be here for this performance and the many characters that you play, which is quite lovely because we all have different positions of life that we're constantly playing, and to give credit to the light and the shadow side is just really beautiful, makes a very well-rounded I want to be inclusive here. Actress, how do we go about that?
I was just talking to my dad about this the other day. I think, like, when I say I'm an actor, I think, like, that's how I introduce myself. I think that that's a good overall broad term. I don't know. I think, and this might be like a societal thing, I feel like sometimes actress is not taken as seriously, unfortunately. I don't know if that was in my head or just like what you hear from movies or things.
No, I love this
like
perspective.
There's always like a joke of like, oh, she's an actress.
Right.
Something like that. And so I think for me personally, I identify more with the term actor. I think it's a great term overall for people who create art like this.
I love that. Okay, you just in your creationship. I'm here for it. So can you tell us when this show is going to open, where we can find tickets, how we can go about learning more about yourself, if you're willing to share that?
Yes. So Our Town opens at the Arvada Center on February 24th and runs all the way to May 21st.
Okay.
It's in repertory with another play. So it's sometimes runs a full weekend, Thursday through Sunday. Other days it's off. So it's definitely important to check out the Arvada Center's website to see what days it is on. We also have a few student matinees if schools are interested in coming. I think it's super cool educationally. And I myself, you can check out my website, samanthapiel.com.
Okay.
I'm just freshly graduated from college in 2021, and I'm working as an actor and teacher and doing some tech stuff as well. So just sort of learning the ropes of this career right now.
I love it. And you're creating your own. Not everything has to be linear to what everybody else has done. So I really appreciate you telling your story, portion of your story, and just for creating space to be here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you, Sammy, and we'll see you on stage soon.
Yay.
Yo, it's Julius, and I just made traveling easier with the motorized scooter suitcase. Let me say it again. Motorized scooter suitcase. Yeah, that's right. The luggage has got a built-in electric motor. So the suitcase, I can ride it and glide through the airport or the train station, through downtown, and it all fits in the overhead storage bin. No more crowded terminals trying to say, excuse me, y'all gonna see me gliding through there. I can hop in and off the light rail like it's no problem. I'm not struggling to carry these heavy ass bags of podcast equipment anymore. All you gotta do is just click the link in the episode description that says Smart Suitcase. Click Smart Suitcase and see what I'm talking about. I'm telling y'all, it's going to change the way, if you're traveling, this is going to change everything. Click the link. Let's go.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you or your company are looking to jump into the podcast world, now is the time. The Plug Agency is here to connect you to the full power of podcasting. You just record and leave the rest to us. The people are listening and want to hear from you. theplug-agency.com. That's theplug-agency.com. Click the link in the episode description for an exclusive offer.